Skip to 20 seconds into the video. If you want to skip the blah 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 stuff that every YouTuber says. Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. You already saw the title, so yeah. If you want to support me, please leave a like. And subscribe, as it does help. You should also feel free to tell me what would happen. Is he want to see next? So now, because Mike is just Svetlana, he will obviously pass everyone, so Svetlana is on the rats. Then it was Joe and Lightning. And even though Joe was first, Chris thinks that Lightning was first, so Lightning is on the maggots. Joe will then go on the rats. Scott was next, so he will go on the maggots. Then Brick, so he's on the rats. Then B on the maggots. And this is where it starts to get confusing. This is because in the original, Cameron got put on Team B and then Zoe after him got put on Team B. So with B on Team B now, Cameron will also join Team B. Then now, because in the original, Chris skipped Mike and went straight to Dawn, because here Mike is already ahead. Chris will skip Zoe and put Dawn on Team A. Then he will go back and put Zoe on Team B. Then Dakota on Team A. Then Anne Maria on Team B. Then Sam on Team A. And now, because in the original, Chris puts two people on Team A in the end, Stacy will go on Team A, so the before the log writing part would probably still work out. Because I don't think that everyone would fail the challenge. But now to the log writing part. Because Dawn is the only one who can understand B. And she told everyone that he said to lean forward. But now, because Dawn is on the other team, she won't help B. So the rats go into mansion and then the maggots get there and take their totem and place it on the pad. They will then obviously choose a small cabin because the mansion is destroyed. So the maggots win, and now Stacy will still be voted. Nothing will change about that, sadly. So now for episode 2, some of the pairs need to change. So here Lightning and Anne Maria were paired against each other, but now they're on the same team. So I'm going to keep who was originally on the maggots, and that was Anne Maria. So now from Brick and Dawn's pair we need to swap someone. So we will keep who was originally on the rats, which was Dawn. So Brick will go against Anne Maria and Lightning against Dawn. Joe and Scott will stay the same, as they are still on different teams. But now B and Zoe are on the same team, so they will have to swap. We will go with who was originally on the maggots, which was Zoe. So B goes up against the next available person. Next is Sam versus Svetlana. But now, because they are both on the same team, we will keep who was originally on the rats. And that was Sam. So Svetlana will go against Zoe and Sam against B. And then Cameron versus Dakota stays the same. But just to make a long story short, Cameron still wins it all. And then besides from Sam, the maggots will still vote off Dakota. So B still wins the first part of the challenge for the maggots. And then Scott will still choose for them to have the small den. But now, because Svetlana will just jump around and get the flag, Scott won't have enough time to sabotage B. This means Scott will be voted for picking the worst fort. So now for episode 4, I imagine for the maggots, that Anne Maria will be taken away first. This is because she will probably be the slowest like Dawn was in the original. Probably because she is doing her hair or something like that. Then Lightning will still get caught like in the original. Now here is a bit confusing as Zoe is on the other team now. But I think that Svetlana would actually be caught. This is because Svetlana will want to go in and get the key. But Joe won't let them. Joe will probably say it might be a trap. And because in the original, Mike was stood next to Zoe and she was caught. I think Svetlana would be caught as they are not expecting it. Then Brick will still get caught. Then Joe will still get caught. And then B, Zoe and Cameron will be sandwiched. But because they will still get to the finish line, it will be 3-2 and the maggots will win. And now, because Brick didn't disobey his code as he wasn't freed, he won't try and quit. But the rats will vote Joe because they don't like her and she will go on the other team. So I imagine Brick and Joe will still be divers for both of their teams. This is because I don't think anyone else on their team would want to do it. So because Lightning was using the pump to fast, he will do the same thing to Joe just like what he did to Brick. This means Joe will win the skis for the maggots. So Svetlana will get the first bell for the rats. And then Joe on the other team will get the first one for the maggots. And then Lightning will get the last point for the maggots. So here I think it's pretty clear Sam is voted. This is because Brick and Dawn are friends, as they already shown in this episode. So they know Svetlana is good at challenges. and they should probably keep them in, and Sam isn't very useful, so Svetlana will probably vote Sam as well. So now, because Chester won't speed up Joe by doing her makeup, Dawn will probably have enough time to climb up and talk to the Yeti. This means Dawn wins immunity for the rats. And then because Anne-Maria and Zoe won't hate each other, this is because veto doesn't exist. So I imagine they both vote Joe because they dislike her. Cameron will also vote Joe because he doesn't like her. It's questionable that Cameron votes Lightning, or even Zoe votes Lightning. But during the merge, besides from maybe the second to last episode, none of them ever voted for Lightning. So I imagine they both vote Joe. And I think B would vote Joe just because of how bossy she is. So Joe is out. And then for the team swap, I think Lightning and Brick would swap, as they probably believe they are the strongest in their teams. So for the mine episode, even though the rats probably won't use the mine cards, they will all end up in the center room anyway. But because Dawn will just talk to the gopher, instead of Brick destroying the statue. But I have no idea who will win, because both teams will have the statue. But if there was a tiebreaker, I imagine the rats would win, because they have less players. But it doesn't matter who gets voted, because Anne-Maria will just quit. Now here, because Dakota wouldn't have returned to the competition. As we have 7 players now, nobody will destroy the giant thorn bush. But I think because Svetlana will climb the trees and tell everyone the way, and Dawn will tame the animals, and I think the maggots vote B because they think he's very secretive. But about the statue, we never knew where it was. And beside from Manitoba, I doubt anyone else in the cast would be able to find the statue, and nobody else was looking for it either. So for this, Cameron and Zoe will get the same go-karts. Svetlana will get the gold one because Scott won't blackmail Mike. And then Brick take Joe's cart and Dawn take Scott's. So now because Brick is taking Joe's spot, him and Lightning will be put in Chef's jail. And I have no way of knowing if Dawn will catch up to Zoe, because I imagine Dawn would do what Cameron did by drawing stuff. And now without Scott to sabotage Zoe, she wins immunity. And now because Zoe has the soul vote, I think she'll pick Lightning. This is because in her audition tape she said she hated jocks. And she has nothing against anyone else here. So just like last episode, Brick takes Joe's place and gets the hot air balloon. Svetlana will get the helicopter. Zoe and Cameron will get the same thing. And then Dawn will get the bird. So I imagine everyone. But Svetlana will be able to build their assigned thing. But I still think Cameron will crash the rocket into the ship and win immunity. And now I think everyone will vote Svetlana, because they are very athletic and are a threat to everyone. So now without Scott to swap with Cameron, I imagine Cameron will win immunity. I doubt Dawn would be able to do something good. And Brick might be, but I don't think he would beat Cameron. Zoe will still be found and turned into, I think it's called Commander Zoe or something, I can't remember. But I think Brick will win immunity. He will either be the last one standing or will run to the finish line. And now for the vote. Because Brick and Dawn have become friends in this universe, they will vote Cameron. This is because they probably think Dawn has a higher chance of winning against Cameron in a tie. And then obviously Cameron and Zoe vote Dawn. But I don't think Cameron will win the tiebreaker. This is because unless it's a knowledge thing, I don't think Cameron will win. And now for episode 12. I think Dawn would be able to talk to Larry and calm him down and get the flower. Although now Zoe doesn't have Cameron to slow her down, I imagine she could probably snatch the flower off Dawn and win immunity. This could potentially not happen, but I feel it's more realistic. Then Dawn outrunning Zoe. But with Zoe still in commando style, because she didn't have Cameron to get her out of it, she would probably pick Dawn to go into the finals with. This is because Dawn is an easier to go against than Brick. Also, Brick and Dawn were only on the same team for 2 episodes, instead of their original 4, so they wouldn't be as close. So the final 2 is Zoe versus Dawn. Each winner will get alternate endings. I will also be making an All-Stars continuation to this video, so stay tuned for that.